Love to see it.
Let's do it. We're getting into game number 2 here. Infernal Shrines is our map. Dignitas currently leads 1-0 here against RED Canids. Day 4, Mid-Season Brawl.
So we'll see if there's going to be an echo of what we saw in the first draft, where RED Canids obviously put a lot of work and research into their draft. Their first 3 foundation formations that we have from RED Canids, I actually enjoyed a lot. It was more of the 4th and the 5th pick that kind of slowed it down overall. So we'll see if they'll be able to make the adjustments necessary here on this battleground, one that they picked and one they believe they have strength on. Dignitas, seeing the Medivh earlier, will ban it out.
Yeah, and an instant response with the new rack ban. I hate to sound like a broken record, but oh, never mind. With that Uther first pick, I was gonna say I really want to see the variant pick up into the blow up comp again. Like both the times you challenged, other top teams in your group, you've ran a very specific composition with very specific heroes. Right. And there's like no shame in that. A lot of teams here have very limited compositions that they can run, but they're so good with the compositions that they have that, they run them anyways and succeed. I mean, you mentioned the Uther and you kind of have like a, maybe not anymore with the Uther being picked, but I actually say go all in on it. Whatever, man. Like at that point, it's your best composition. It's your last game to put it all in the line here for you to get a victory here at the Mid-Season Brawl, and they've obviously looked the best they have ever been with that variant. Just go for it, man. Pick it up. Oh yeah, I would still love to see it, even with the Uther here.
Yeah, the Uther obviously does give you problems, and it's kind of weird the way that it works, right? I mean, if you go Divine Shield, then you start to worry about, can you blow up that hero fast enough? Is Bakery going to be quick on the buttons, which we know he is? But you still create opportunities. Again, Curse Bullet, 30-second cooldown, Taunt, even shorter. Divine Shield, much longer. So if you're looking to maybe chain together opportunities, then you have that available too. You don't have to necessarily get it the first time. When we talk about Shrine phases, they do tend to last a little bit longer than that 30 seconds. So if you want to try and force the issue, wait, force some cooldowns, and then re-engage, I'd say that's a perfectly capable thing that I think that they could do. It's a little bit tougher, and you've got to be patient. But, they do have options available to them.
Dignitas not holding anything back, though. They grab Uther, Dehaka, and Genji, a very strong foundation of 3. Dehaka being on those rotations, continue to soak on our Infernal Shrines. Important and necessary as he moves towards level 10. Genji being one of the best in the game right now. Their draft is scary, and RED Canids will actually answer back with a Gold Dan ban.
I mean, regardless of if you believe that the variant direction was the right direction or not, this is their last match here for today. Completely. Do something mental. Just throw something that you've been practicing. I mean, the D.Va is potentially a good start with that, and then try and couple something up with that. That could be just... go for it.
If you think about the way that we saw D.Va work against Dignitas before, it was actually a brilliant strategy, especially against a Kerrigan, maybe some different heroes with different mobility. But it was the minute somebody stepped on your side, if you were to draw a line straight down the shrine, the minute somebody stepped across that line, you queued in as D.Va and then set off your mech explosion. And it was a divide and conquer isolating a hero. Yes. So it was a very interesting strategy, whether it was fully intentional or not. It worked wonders. So it is something that I wouldn't mind seeing.
Let me pick something, please. Okay.
They do get the second ban in time this time with the Diablo ban here. The RED Canids banning out Gold Dan is a little surprising to me. They have the next 2 picks, and Dignitas banned it from them the game before, and it's been one of their comforts. So I wonder if they have something else already in mind.
Gold Dan was a strong pickup for a long time in the meta prior for Dignitas. Maybe they're just going on old research here. Used to be able to clear out those shrines like crazy. It was pretty darn effective. So that might be the option. Say, hey, you know what? We don't want to run Gold Dan. We know the variant in the past, and so they went that route.
I mean, aside from Li Ming, it feels like mages right now are pretty dead because of the
Chromie will never die.
Well, actually, I'll have you know, there's a new scenario coming into World of Warcraft where she dies over and over and over and over. But anyway, on to the actual Heroes of the Storm game that's coming up. We have Tyrael and Stitches coming along.
We're going for another high execution composition. The good thing is what we saw from a Stitches comp earlier was there was no follow-up and there was no type of CC to lock anybody in place. At least when you have Malfurion, you have the roots that you can put down, then you have the follow-up potential with Greymane. So at least they're setting up things a little bit better than some of the compositions we saw earlier. It's just a matter of what's going to be that last damage dealer that they're going to have. You expect somebody to potentially be on that back line, but we might potentially see something like a Zeratul come out. I mean, we've seen Shrite on a handful of heroes, so keep it flexible. Leave that last spot open to bring something different.
Yeah, I wonder what tank JPL is going to be playing when I see this draft, because the Tyrael and the Stitches were the two I had pegged out for him.
Muradin's the way normally.
Yeah, Muradin seems like the obvious choice, but Dignitas does not pick Muradin very often.
Not anymore. They when it was the old, okay, they do go Muradin.
There we go.
It was last year when it was Alex the Pro G on the team. It was just Muradin Arthas, Muradin Arthas, Muradin Arthas. And then they have fallen quite away from Muradin in recent times.
I mean, them taking that Kael'thas is almost a slight denial of saying, we don't want you to stitch this Kael'thas us. We're the masters of that. If you could just kindly not do that, that would be nice.
Now, if you're looking to make things weird and you want to blow somebody up,
Don't say it.
Sharonda?
No, it's like a stereo.
Another TY hero.
Yeah.
Works out.
Playing it safe here.
Canids draft, I mean, the Stitches, hooks, follow-up are going to be tough, but even if that doesn't work, they have options to fall back on. The Greymane and Tychus on this map are really good. The Flask build for Greymane works well. The Grenade for Tychus works well. Plus, they have good frontline control if they want to blow up Muradin. You have 2 tank busters if you go Cursed Bullet, but the bigger they are for Tychus works really well. So this is a much better draft, I think, for Red Canids in Game 2 than we had in Game 1.
Share those sentiments, fan?
Yeah, I like their draft a lot better this time around. They don't have too many picks that are like considered underpowered in the meta. Stitches, if it's Typhex on that Stitches, which I hope it is, you know, he is the one that, not the playmaker, but the one that makes the play or makes the openings for his team. He's the one that always initiates, and he does it pretty well. So if they can get some hooks, you know, maybe they can start turning the game around.
Generally, I like to see Stitches in kind of this secondary bruiser type role. He does have Dampen Magic, and against Mene's Kael'thas, I feel like this is one of those times where like, look, we could do some slam damage, but it might be better if you just kind of stay alive. So depending on how they approach this, whether it's just going to go full out aggression, full out damage, maybe, especially for the Shrine, but I'd like to see them play a little bit more reserved in that role and allow for him to set up plays for the rest of his team.
Time for your thoughts that may lend an answer to what you expect to be the outcome of this game.
Well, a more clever draft here by the Red Canids. However, this is Muradin from JPL, and JPL doesn't pull it out often, but when he does, he is ready to land those Storm Bolts, and with a KT follow-up into the CC terrain available for Dig, I'm going with Red Canids.
I gotta say, the difference in skill is obvious there, and this map means a lot to Dignitas. I can't see them not going full on, not trying to win this. And if they're at their best, then I don't see any way Red Canids has a chance, so I'm going with Dignitas.
Ben?
Yeah, once again, Dig is going very serious here. They do not want to drop a map at all, so I have to go with Dignitas.
All right, well, thank you very much. Let's see what chat thinks once again. They were on the Red Canids hype train previously, and now they're there even more. All right, so let's see them get a map here, as it's 90% to 10% to get things going. One final match here for the Mid-Season Brawl at day number 4, as I send you over to Tetra and Grubby for all the commentary.
Only 10% for Team Dignitas to win. Let's see if the chat is right in their predictions as we head into our second map, which is going to be Infernal Shrines and spawning on the left-hand side. It is going to be currently 1-0 up in the series, Team Dignitas with Bakery on Uther, Zalia on Dahaka, Snitch on Genji, Maina on Kael'thas, and JPL on Muradin.
And on the right side, fighting for their first and last game, hoping to get a victory here, representing LATAM, Red Canids in the red. And it's going to be Jay Schritte on Greymane, Viera on Malfurion, Hamtaro on Tyrael, Typhex on Stitches, and Lethosaurus on Tychus.
And the teams begin to move in. Tythex could try and give Red Canids a quick kill here. Scouting drone already dropped, and he is moving very far forward, looking for anyone to overextend so that he can land the hook.
He's a bit too far because you want to be 3 to 4 steps ahead of Malf, so he can follow up with Entangle just to get that secured kill. A hook is no good unless the follow-up is clean. Let's see how he positions himself. An early takedown could be just what Red Canids needs. Nice hook there. Entangle a little bit too late. You really have to throw out that root before you even know if the Entangle, before you even know if the hook will connect. It's kind of like high-level football / soccer play. The goalkeeper in a penalty kick needs to choose a side, start jumping, and then see if he can actually stop the ball and if he chose the right side. It's like that with Malf. Trust needs to be there. Let's see if they can get that combo right. Cooldown is going to be coming back soon.
We'll see right now. Teams are splitting up. It is the 4-man rotation for Red Canids as they move between mid and bot lane, looking to just soak the XP from both. Dignitas following a little bit similar, but overall seem to be leaving the majority of their people mid, and also have sent a little bit of an excursion to top lane to harass Hamtaro.
We see this more and more at high-level play, bullying the solo laner with 2 people or even 3. Stormbolt, though, misses for JPL as Hamtaro chose the smart path over the minion wave. But we see this a lot. The old gentleman's agreement, Tetcher, of having a 1 versus 1 lane, kind of doing your own thing, is kind of over here. It is a complete Wild West. Genjis are harassing that solo laner, trying to get an edge, depleting the other solo laner's health and mana pool.
Yes,
Maybe getting a kill.
Red Canids moving very aggressively through the Dignitas jungle, trying to catch something, but not able to find anything. Dignitas playing far too safe, and also all of their heroes are really hard to kill. We have Deflect, we have Uther, and we have Muradin who just do their job. Kale, that's the one person who is vulnerable, just playing really safe, collecting up his globes already, thanks to his Mana Reddick talent, up to 5.
Exactly, he wants those 20 regen globes just to start things off with and get that mana addict complete, getting that 1000-point shield, make himself a little bit more survivable. In the meantime, we can clearly see the plan here for Team Dignitas. They realize their wave clear may be a little bit weaker on the Shrine, as only 2 of them clear well, Kel'Thas and Dahaka, and they're getting a lead in experience. This is their strategy, and they are honing that strategy to a T. Look at that. Dahaka Zili already taking down 2 towers, getting a lot of XP. Mene, bottom lane, doing the same thing. Punisher, who? Knock, knock.
Punisher
Doesn't
going
matter.
over to Red Canids, going to be pushing in the mid lane, but like you said, Dignitas already with a level lead, creeping towards, or just under a level lead, but they're creeping towards their level 7 talents very quickly, and pulling the Punisher over
very nice
aggressively to try and do it safely, but Hamtaro shutting that down, putting JPL in a lot of danger. Punisher will still drop, but a couple towers claimed by Red Canids.
So this is well done by Red
Dahaka.
Canids.
Can they do
Dahaka,
anything? Oh,
Fiora
that's-
left alone!
Malfurion has been abandoned by his team. As Dignitas attempting to find Lefero as well, but he is on the run.
Stitches, Typhex moving to the bottom lane, matching Mena there. His wave clear is pretty good. He's got the slam build. And he's looking to cover a gap left by the death of Vieira, by the destruction of the rotation. However, he has been spotted, he's been jumped on, he's trying to get away, but he can't. He's too big.
Yep, the stun locks as well. Kael'thas, Dahaka, and Muradin just making it immensely difficult for anyone to get past them if they start getting into position. And of course, Dahaka turns on Darkswarm, in which case they can just walk straight through, but he didn't, so it worked quite well.
Nice lead by Team Dignitas, 1.5 level lead. If Dignitas wins this map, they'll have put the mental pressure on L5 tomorrow to win both games against Tempo Storm, lest they finish 3rd without a tiebreaker, and will be dropping straight to the loser bracket for the DreamHack main event. That's the earnings of what Dignitas is doing here, and Tempo Storm's and L5's match tomorrow will be so exciting for it, to see whether Tempo Storm can take a map, which is very important for their own advancement. Tempo Storm is looking good to advance top 4, but if they lose both games against L5, their fate is no longer in their own hands. It's going to be down to the E-Star and Soul Torturer match to see if Soul Torturers can take 1 or more maps from E-Star. So there's a lot of things hanging on the balance here.
A lot of games decided tomorrow in the last 4 games. We may see some tiebreaker matches, which is going to be very cool and exciting. For now, though, in this game, Dignitas creeping towards their heroics. The objective has spawned, and once again, Dignitas ignore it. Red Canids already up to 16 skeletons on the objective, while Dignitas are trying to get their level 10 as quick as possible and trying to just pick up more kills.
Yeah, we saw this in Roll20's game as well against SPT today on Infernal Shrines. They gave up 3 to 4 consecutive Punishers and still came out ahead. If you do well in the experience-soaked department, it's absolutely a valid strategy. Level 10 is now being reached by Team Dignitas. They are trying to steal it back, but also they're trying to force a fight, and Red Canids is getting baited in.
Greymane has cocktail talents though. He's trying to poke in. They only need 4. Stitches just got deleted by Genji, who's now moving in. Dragonblade is up, trying to take down Malfurion, who is dragged and taken down. The Punisher does in fact go over to Red Canids, but Dignitas picking up 2 kills, looking for a 3rd.
Lithosaurus is trying to stay out of that drag tongue range, and he does. He gets away for now, only 2 casualties here.
Punisher jumping backwards onto Genji.
Oh yeah, Red
Lithosaurus
Canids won it.
trying to get something out of this, but there's too many heroes here. He overextended and gets taken out. Jashrite is out of there, doesn't want anything to do with this.
Now here's the thing, right? Red Canids sacrificed 2 heroes to take the Punisher, which is absolutely worth it. But not because you can push with it, but so that you don't have it against you. Team Dignitas would have been able to maybe get a fort, maybe a keep wall off of that, because level 10 is so far away from Red Canids. Somehow Red Canids did not recognize that just because you get the Punisher doesn't mean you can stay around and get some minions soaked, maybe push with it. They were literally 2 versus 4, 2 versus 5 situation. And sticking around there is a bit of a painful loss there. Another 1 or 2 takedowns and basically not doing something somewhere else on the map.
On the bright side though, Red Canids, even though they are losing members quite often, they have managed to get to their level 10, and Dignitas only just under a 2-level lead. This is absolutely a surmountable deficit for them. So Canids turning around. There's the Twilight Dream, and the drag from Dahaka is landed straight away. Letho pulling backwards, trying not to get killed off. Good solid to Stitches though, and he is taken down. Genji trying to get Letho, but he is too far. Oh, maybe he's not too far back. The last Dragonblade swipe getting the kill.
Very nicely done, but let's remember that Red Canids willingly engaged 4 versus 5 and threw all their heroics down. Curse Bullet was already down, Dignitas was nearly full life, and still Viera moved forward with the Twilight Dream, Putrid Bow for the disengage, and they turn around and they fight again. But they know Turiel is in the core, so a miscommunication here. Dignitas happily and willingly takes that 5 versus 4 and increases their lead.
Yes, they do. They are looking so solid at the moment, as a lot of us expected, except for Twitch chat, who are very much behind the Canids. And once again, Canids only almost exactly 2 levels behind right now. They are a talent behind. We've seen worse, especially with a Stitches, potentially the ultimate comeback hero.
And that was a nice attempt at a hook. The entangle was quick. If that was Bakery, he would have had to burn Divine Shield, rejoin with this team, and then probably Dignitas would have killed them all around the corner there because Greymane and Tyrio weren't there. But this is the kind of thing that Red Canids needs. They're getting valuable experience, and you know, I'm cheering for the underdog here too. I'm hoping they can get a good game, but so far it's looking pretty rough, Tej.
Yes, it is. I am also rooting for them. We can hope. We always like to see the non-league regions able to show something at these events. But for now, Dignitas performing exactly how a lot of people expected. Taking control. They do, once again, back out of the shrine. They don't need to take a full team fight, especially now that Zalia is just pushing in the bot lane.
Massive damage there. Level 14.5 soon. He's killing the keep wall.
Is where Stitch's hook does not land. JPL jumps very aggressively. In comes
Nice sanctification.
the sack, keeping Malfurion alive. Twilight Dream gets Bakery and gets JPL, but Snitch is going off on this Genji into the backline. Takes not out Malfurion. Needs to turn around and try and get to him. Instead, Malfurion gets completely surrounded. Good stop by JPL onto Letho, who will get locked down and finished off. Now Hamtaro shall meet the same fate. Greymane, the only survivor, as he is clearing bot.
Greymane tells the story of what happened and clears up the bottom impalers. That keep is exposed. Next time a Punisher spawns at the bottom, it'll go straight to the keep. Sole survivor Greymane comes back to the mid lane. This is an arcane Punisher. 10 minutes, normally not a big threat, but look at the deficit. 11-0 in takedowns. Dignitas is looking, I am sure that right now they're discussing if we get another pick, we can end.
Mal getting punched by the Punisher quite aggressively. They're having to do this very far back, because if the Punisher is able to do another jump stun, or Dignitas gets a single lockdown, then that person is most likely dead. This keep under siege, but the Punisher shall drop here. Dignitas, though, picking up the keep in time, and now they just need to get out safely. Or, seeing as they have a 2-talent lead right now, if they can, turn around for a fight. JPL hooked over the wall, but is tanking through. Good double stun there from JPL.
Dragon Blade is back, so is Cursed Bullet. There's not a lot of heroics available, but they're trickling back in. Twilight Dream becomes available. Sanctification, 5 seconds. Red Canids wants the engage. They go for the hook.
Yep. Sorry, by the way, double stun was from Maina, of course, on the Kael'thas. Now Tythex getting the living bomb applied to him, getting into the back, but the the ice block was used here. Snitch looking for his opportunity. We already see Kael'thas going down as Bakery is focused to the divine shield was already used, so there was no opportunity to save from the Twilight Dream. Tyrael is dropped as well, making it a 2-for-2 so far, as Snitch is getting chased down by 3 people. Here comes the Hugger, where's Deflect? Never mind, there's the dash. J gets the kill. And that is 3 kills going over to Red Canids. But Dignitas, with that kill onto Malfurion, makes it to 14 there.
Red Canids get 3 takedowns. It's a 3-for-3. Very nice, actually, when you're that far behind. Gives you a lot of comeback experience. Gets you back in the game. Gets you closer to level 16. And you know what? Red Canids may reach that before Dignitas reaches level 20, which gives Red Canids a fighting chance, and it's all they need. Let's see this again. Snitch trying to be greedy.
Low.
He was
the
full life.
coming in. You see Muradin coming as well. Snitch tries to escape. No deflect as Jeshrite got the kill into Haka, and Muradin in the background, though, just ruined Malfurion. But Red Canids, like you said, they're creeping towards their 16. They're definitely going to get it before Dignitas hit 20, unless Dignitas gets 2 wipes in a row.
Yeah. I mean, Red Canids, they didn't just have a miracle. They got a 3-for-3, which is great. They probably need about 2 to 3 in a row. 6 forts are standing healthy